Hello my friends, and welcome to today's video. This is part 2 of what will probably be a 3-part series on the Beatitudes. And the Beatitudes, the Sermon on the Mount, Beatitudes are the introduction. This is a pivotal moment within the gospel, and it unveils to us really what Jesus is all about, what the kingdom of heaven is all about. So how does that work? Well, let's have a look at what people in the world are after, and I've been in that, and then let's have a look at what Jesus has on offer. So I think it's fair to say that within the world, we are looking for territory, comfort, dominion, satisfaction. If we really goof up, we want people to treat us well. We're not opposed to a supernatural encounter if it benefits us. We're looking for position and we want security. And I think, most people in their careers and their life pursuit, in their dreams, their desires, that's what they want. The problem with that is how we go about getting it. And so much of the evil in the world, the oppression and the corruption, is because people are after these things, but we're going about it the wrong way. And I think if we were to break it down again, we've just looked at that list, if we looked at how we handle it, I think we could say, well, in our attempts to achieve these, if we want to get these, we're not really honest about who we are. There isn't much transparency in the world. There's a lot of self-promotion. What is right and wrong gets distorted. People have just reduced right and wrong to pragmatism. What serves me in the moment? We tread on people. We embrace all sorts of wickedness to get what we want. We'll declare war, even if only in our languages or in cancelling other people if we think it gets us what we want. And then we'll be subject to social pressure. We'll side with power, even when power is wrong, if it gets us what we want, if it gets us our comfort or our position, whatever it is. And then, of course, we deny anything or anyone, and people go to great lengths to do this. If it will protect us, it will stop us being exposed to attack. And we've all read the stories through history where governments have just perpetrated lies to protect themselves. And I say governments, I mean people. That's what we are, that's what people do. Well, Jesus, he offers much the same, but he does it in a different way. And now I've been reading to you, if you like, from the Beatitudes, but from a worldly perspective. Now look at the Beatitudes in a heavenly perspective. Look what Jesus offers. He gives us a kingdom. He gives us comfort, a global inheritance, satisfaction, mercy. We get to see God. We have an amazing position within the heavenly society. We have a reward that is eternal. And these blessings, these rest on people that the world doesn't understand. God's approval, when it's really manifest, it makes no sense to the world at all. Let me read you a quote. This I thought really helped. This is from Tom Wright. He was Bishop of Durham, and I think now he's in St Andrews. He's Professor of New Testament theology, one of the best minds in the world. And he says this: these blessings, the wonderful news that he's announcing, are not saying, try hard to live like this. They're saying that people who are already like that are in good shape, and they should be happy and celebrate. These are what healthy Christians look like. Now, the problem we've got is we go, well, that doesn't sound very good. That doesn't sound like a very good life to me. And I think that's because we have got disconnected from the bigger story. Now, can you see this is quite involved again? And I can't say sorry for that because that's what it is. But just jump in your time machine and let's just go back in time a bit. And we're back in Deuteronomy 28. And Moses is giving out the blessings and the cursings of the law. And Israel, they had come out from Egypt. They'd been through the sea. They'd gone through the wilderness. They were on the edge of the promised land. And of course, then they ended up waiting 40 years. They were given this covenant that if they lived by it, they would receive all these amazing blessings. And for Israel, this was everything. This was their identity. It was all wound, tied up with the land. But now fast forward, and you've got Jesus who has come out of Egypt. He went out into the wilderness. He's passed through the waters. He's now in the promised land. And now he is giving the law. What Jesus is offering is not like the law. It is so very, very different. It's a state of being. Jesus is just giving a proclamation. He's declaring simply what is. This is what kingdom people look like. And you say, what, you mean we're hungry and we're poor? No, stop and think again. Look at the inheritance. We live in an upside down world. And part of the gospel is we carry our cross. So do I want the kingdom of heaven? Yes, I do. Well, the people who've got the kingdom of heaven are the ones who realize they're morally bankrupt, that they have to be forgiven. Do I want to know what it is to be comforted? Then actually in our prayers, for example, we are going to look at the suffering in the world. We are going to look at the horrors and the corruption, and we're going to mourn. And it's going to be hard for us. But we have this heavenly comfort. This is what these blessings look like now. When we look at our lives and we see how even as believers we fall so short, there's an appetite for holiness. We want righteousness to be seen in us and in the world. God promises us satisfaction, but we are living in between ages. We've got heaven just the other side of the veil. Heaven, I can almost touch it. It's parallel, it's around us, but it's not manifest here. And so now these blessings are mine, but I'm carrying this burden as well, that I am aware of my brokenness and I'm having to bring peace in a war-torn world. But actually I also have this other reality. And the world thinks we've lost it. The world thinks we've missed everything, when actually we've inherited all. And one day, the veil that separates these two dimensions, one day that's going to be removed, and then earth and heaven will be connected back together again. And then we fast forward to Revelation 21 verse 4. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for the former things have passed away. You see, we've got the down payment of that. We've got the deposit. And so we're still carrying some weight, but it's not the burden of guilt or condemnation. No, it's people who are learning to live upright in an upside down world. And that's why in verse 12, Jesus says, rejoice and be glad, because you've already got this. This is your guarantee. The fact that you struggle with these things proves you are approved. They are the evidence that you are a kingdom people. So even though we grieve and we mourn and we know that we're broken, we know that we're screwed up and we know that we need mercy and we know we live in a war-torn world, we can be glad. Because you, my friend, if Jesus is your Lord, you are the blessed. You are part of a heavenly kingdom, and one day, and this is where we set our hope, this is what we rest our faith on, one day the veil will be removed and all you will be left with is the ecstasy of the blessing without the burden of an upside down world. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I truly hope that's been an encouragement to you. And please do me a favor. Please like, please subscribe, please share. Let's get this good news out as far as we can. And if you want to do a deep dive, make sure you click on the link in the description or in the comments, and then that will let you know when the webinars are coming up, and that's where we spend much more time. Really look forward to seeing you on one of them. Until then, go well, my friend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.